Hello, how's everybody doing today? As per usual, I'm your host, Richie T, also known as Richard T, coming at you live today with some more Magic the Gathering content. So, what am I playing for y'all today? Well, today I'm playing this really cool Sultai deck that was played on the Versus Live series. Uh, it's kind of just like a Sultai mid-range deck, a little snow themed. Call it what you want. It's Sultai pile of good cards is basically what it comes down to. And so let's get right into it. So first off, we have our mana base. We have our typical, Misty Rainforest, Polluted Deltas. But then we are playing an extra Flooded Strand over playing the Verdant Catacombs because we do really care about being able to fetch Basic Island. Or in this deck specifically, Snow-Covered Basic Island. So, then we have our Shocklands, couple Breeding Pools, couple Watery Graves, and Overgrown Tomb. But one of the big things about this deck is we're on the full playset of Mystic Sanctuary. This is really what gives this deck its power, is that it has such a good late game grind engine in Mystic Sanctuary that this deck's really pushing it to the limits and actually playing the full playset. So, let's get on. Hey, how's it going, Siggy? Glad to see you here, man. So, let's get on into some of our spells. We have 4 Arcum's Astrolabe, because why wouldn't we in a snow-covered deck? We have 4 Thought Scours, so that way we can try to get Mystic Sanctuary online faster. And also get better spells for it. And then we have 4 Thoughtseize for a little bit of early hand disruption. Then we have some removal spells and 4 Fatal Push and 3 Assassin's Trophies. We have some counter spells and 3 Archmage's Charm, which I think this card is just excellent. Archmage's Charm is easily probably one of my favorite cards to cast. And then we have the 3 Cryptic Commands to try to get the Cryptic Command Mystic Sanctuary a lot going on. And then we have 11 ways to essentially win the game. In 4 Ice-Fang Coatl. Not much. Finished my 15 wins on Arena. It took 2.5 hours, lost 5 games. Not bad. We have 4 Ice-Fang Coatls for, this card's really good, especially with Mystic Sanctuary. It's a 2-mana draw on whatever card you want from your graveyard. But it's also just a good threat on its own. It'll trade with pretty much anything. It's evasive, it's flash, so you get to hold up spells like Trophy or potentially like a Cryptic Command with it. And then if they don't do anything, you just flash it in, draw a card, and keep on going. We have 3 Uro, which is really the center point of this deck. Uro works really well with Mystic Sanctuary. You can play it, put the card on top, attack, draw the card. It helps you ramp into things like Cryptic Command or Mystic Sanctuary. Uro is just a very powerful card, and is really where this deck is drawing a lot of its power from. We also have 2 Tireless Trackers. Also works kind of like Uro, except we have to pay some mana into it, to where whenever we play a land, we get a clue which will draw a card. And then a couple Scavenging Oozes just for dealing with graveyards, a little extra life gain. But that's the main deck. Going on to the sideboard, I have it separated into 3 categories here. We have just, your typical interactive spells in 2 Inquisition of Kozilek for when we don't want to lose life off Thoughtseize or want a little more discard. An Abrupt Decay for an extra permanent destruction that can't be countered. A Plague Engineer for dealing with those tribal decks. And a Dead of Winter for a mass board sweeper, since we are playing 6 snow-covered lands, and then also 4 Astrolabes. We have some color hate here in 3 Aether Gust for dealing with from anything as small as a Goblin Guide all the way to as big as a Primeval Titan. Aether Gust has proven to be a very powerful card in Modern. We have 2 Veil of Summers because, if we're playing 3-mana Cryptic Command, why not play 1-mana Cryptic Command in your sideboard? And then we have 5 pieces of Graveyard Hate and 3 Ashiok Dream Renders to also stop people from searching their libraries. A Surgical Extraction as a piece of Graveyard Hate that we can Mystic Sanctuary. And then a Kalitas as just an extra threat that also just KOs a lot of aggressive decks. So, that is it for the deck. And before we hop on into our league, as per usual, we're going to want to hop on over to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com. so I can tell you guys where to find all of our info. If you're watching on YouTube, you can check down in that description box below to find all the links that I'm going to be talking about. But you can also try to tune into our Twitch live sometimes and interact with us and have a good time, kind of like what Siggy Stardust is doing right now. On top of that, if you're looking for forms of social media to find us on, you can find us on Facebook at Mom's Basement Games. Give us a like there. You can give us a follow on Twitter at momsbasementmtg. And then after this stream, you can head on over to our YouTube channel, where you can find the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, pauper, pioneer, cube, and draft content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's at RichardTMTG. I talk Magic, memes, League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra. Anything else you want to talk about, feel free to hit me up. I'm always willing to chat. If you're looking for other forms of social media to find us on, you can find us on Instagram at MomsBasementGames, or you can find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. And with that, I think we're about ready to hop on into the games. What do you say? So, how's everyone been doing? How's everyone been spending their time? I know, unfortunately, I know at least Pando's closed, so I haven't played a lot of Magic recently. But, you know, I've been playing a lot of League, a lot of Runeterra, and just, you know, chilling, going back, watching some old TV shows. You know, trying to make the best out of everything. What about you, chat? What have you guys been up to? Oh, it didn't put us in the game for some reason. Weird. Hit our opponent with the GLHF. I would like to be on the play. And yeah, this hand looks great. We don't have a snow mana, but we get to just like shock in this watery grave and then thought scour ourselves. We just gotta find a land here. Ooh, depending on what they do here, we might actually thought scour them. Oh, they put 2 on top, and then they suspended a Lotus Bloom. So that means this is Ad Nauseam. So we're going to go ahead and actually thought scour them. And we hit 2 spoils of the vault. And then we drew an Ice-Fang Coatl, which isn't the best here, but it will get us a redraw, hopefully finding our 3rd land. This is a deck I think we have kind of a rough matchup against game 1. You know, we don't have that fast of a clock, but opponent ticks down their Lotus Bloom. Scries with Temple of Deceit. Puts the card on bottom. Then casts a Sleight of Hand. They take their card off Sleight. And we're going to go ahead and flash an Ice-Fang Coatl. Alright, not really the land we want. Hopefully we draw another one. We did. Perfect. That's actually a really good land here, because it lets us use Arcum's Astrolabe now. So we'll grab an island here. Play Astrolabe. Ooh, Thoughtseize. That's a solid draw, too. We'll go to combat. We'll attack. There's nothing to be super worried about here. But if we want to Tracker and then Mystic Sanctuary... Oh no, we can actually Thoughtseize next turn still. Yeah, so we're just going to say go right now. City of Brass from our opponent. If they play the enchantment here, we're just going to go ahead and trophy it. Oh, you know what? I probably should have Thoughtseized them, actually, thinking about it now. Because we could have held up Cryptic Command. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and just trophy this Pentad Prism here. They don't have enough mana off me doing this, and this is basically a strip mine. Oh, that's actually kind of cool that your LGS is running F&M off Arena. Ooh. So we're really going to get to tear their hand apart here. Oh, wait. I gotta... Yeah, I did kind of mess up. I should have thought seized last turn. Because I could... My plan was to tracker and then put Thoughtseize on top. But I can't actually do that. Pact of Negation from our opponent. Well, what if I go ahead and Thoughtseize you again? Opponent taps City of Brass. Interesting. Is this yeah, I was going to say this is Spoils of the Vault. Is this Spoils for another Pact? Alright, well, they just die, so... Alright, we managed to pull that game through, actually. So now, how do we want to sideboard? Cletus doesn't seem very good here. Neither does Dead of Winter or Plague Engineer. Our opponent doesn't really search their library. None of their spells are red or green. Skoos might be kind of slow. Veil doesn't really do anything. So we got 4 more cards to figure out. Skoos seems kind of medium in this matchup. What do you think our last 2 cuts should be? Oh, that's really cool of him. Maybe we trim a Cryptic command just because it's kind of a lot of mana. Oh, we don't want Fatal Push. Fatal Push seems really bad in this matchup. We'll just like take all of them out and bring in the Skoozes. Because typically if they are going to have like some threat post board, it's not going to be something we can Fatal Push. Plus Skooz is just like extra threats. So yeah. I think we'll go ahead and try it like this. Actually, I kind of... Yeah, I just want to be able to kill our opponent. I actually like a couple Ashioks. Because we can potentially mill over some of their combo. Also just like offset some of their scries. Yeah, I think I like Ashiok more. Yeah, let's go with Ashiok. I like am up to date with Standard, but I personally don't play it. Oh, this hand's great. So we don't have anything for this Thoughtseize, and this Mystic Sanctuary is kind of bad. But if we can Thought Scour our opponent's combo piece, and then... Oh, I guess we won't be. Okay, well that kind of puts a damper into our hand. Wait, did they keep a no-lander? Oh, okay. Alright, that'll eventually deal with it. So... just go ahead and shock here and then say go. Is it like the mass manipulation deck? So do we have anything in our sideboard that could have dealt with Leyline of Sanctity that we didn't bring in? No. So not much we could really do about it. Go ahead and Thought Scour ourselves here. Mill over 2 lands and draw an Ashiok. That's not what we wanted. Uses finales. Which ones? This could be an opt from the opponent. Alright, we need lands here. Those aren't lands. So we'll flash in Ice-Fang Coatl. Try to draw ourselves a land. We did it. And now we have to say go here. We're still missing black mana, unfortunately. There it is. Alright, so how do we want to sequence this? We can't really Thoughtseize our opponent unless we plan to trophy this, but I'm not really worried about dying this turn. So I kind of just want to get this Ashiok going. Oh, we can't target them. Huh. That was bad on me. How's the green finale? I haven't really seen that one see much play. Yeah, so that was kind of a punt by me that I didn't think about, like, for some reason. I should have just planned to trophy the Leyline end of their turn. And then Thoughtseize Ashiok. Thassa's Oracle to Scry. Okay. Well, we're gonna get to mess that up a little bit. Yeah, it definitely seems like a card that would end the game when it happens. Alright, let's go ahead and try to trophy this Leyline. I assume they probably don't play any more basics. Oh, they do, wow. So then we'll go ahead and mill them. And then we will go to combat. Actually, we won't, because we want to leave the Ashiok. So their Lotus Bloom goes to 1, but we have Archmage's Charm for it on our turn. Or on their turn. Alright, let's go ahead and try to Thoughtseize our opponent here. Grace, Lightning Storm, Spirit Guide, Spoils of the Vault, Thassa's Oracle. So they Grace, they Spoils their whole deck because they can't die, and they Oracle me. So this wins them the game. They could have actually won the game on their turn, I think. If we take the spoils. So this isn't going to resolve. So I think we actually take the spoils to make sure that we can counter it. Alright, Then we go ahead and mill them. We did hit an Ad Nauseam. Then we're gonna pass the turn. They're gonna cast this and we're going to... Wait, can we just... no, they'd get to use it first. So we'll just counter this. So now we can Thought Seize them again. With the plan of surgicaling their Angel's Graces, Spirit Guide, Lightning Storm. So they have 3 Ad Nauseams in their deck, 4 Veil of Summers. Wow. Oh, the opponent just concedes, actually. Alright, so we're 1-0. I thought Ad Nauseam would actually be kind of a hard matchup, but it turns out we just have enough interaction that, like, our clock doesn't matter. So good first round for us there. The Ashiok's didn't seem horrible. I think bringing in the 2 was fine. Not sure if I'd bring in multiples or not, but I like the 2. Yeah, when I played Standard last, there was like a triple points qualifier at Pando that I played in. I played this pretty cool like blue-black control deck that its main win con was the new Ashiok. The deck felt pretty solid. It felt like it was really bad into Teamer Reclamation. And other than that, it felt pretty fine. Like, my 2 losses in that tournament were to Teamer Reclamation and then a mono red player where I had turn 4 Ritual of Soot on the draw, but they went turn 1 Feverant Champion, turn 2 more Feverant Champions hit you for 6. And it's just like, not much you can do when you get 6'd on turn 2 in Standard. That's pretty good. Alright, we got ourselves another round, hit our opponent with the GLHF, and I would like to be on the play. Yeah, this is another, like, reasonable looking hand. We can get a snow-covered island into Astrolabe, and we just kind of have, like, a bunch of decent interaction held up. Grab our snow-covered island and spin the Labe. Thought Scour is a solid draw here. Windswept Heath from our opponent. Could this be the new company deck, maybe? A Boreal Grazer. So probably the green-white Titan deck, if I had to take a guess. Oh, this is just Scape Shift. Okay. So we draw another Ice-Fang Coatl, so our whole hand is instant speed. So we're just going to go ahead and shock and pass here. Probably just flashing a Coatl end of turn. Grazer does do a good job at blocking your Coatl until it gets Death Touch. And we're hoping to draw like land into... Filter into a green, flash and Coatl. We want like land into Archmage's Charm to be able to counter this Titan on our turn. There's half of it. don't get the other half, unfortunately. So we're going to go to combat here. Attack our opponent. Then say go. So do we get tightened here? Looks like we're getting tightened. Yep. Our opponent is pretty far off from valid-cutting us. But I believe we get Field of the Deaded here. Maybe I was supposed to trophy pre... I wonder if I'm supposed to just trophy the Field of the Dead here. I think that might actually be the line. Because we're just like never beating an infinite amount of zombies. To where we can beat a Primeval Titan. Go ahead and say go here. Is this another Titan? Man. Oh, a Dryad. So I have to go ahead and trophy this. Which means we're going to have to take the hit from the zombies. Yep, so here comes another Titan. Oh, they get another Dryad. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're not... Oh, they just get 2 more Valakuts. Yeah. I mean, not really much we could have done there, unfortunately. We bricked on some lands, and... yeah, it happens. Kalitas doesn't seem very good here. Neither does Dead of Winter Plague Engineer, really. Ashiok seems absurd here. Aether Gust seems great. Skoos can potentially be cut. Surgical seems really good if we can mill over a card that they care about. I think we want our discard. Veil of Summer seems pretty medium. Fatal Push deals with Dryad, but like doesn't do anything else. I think we can take out the Scoozes. I don't really think we want to be trying to grind them out. But like that also just might be boarding out too many win cons if we board out Tracker. Oh, Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay seems like just as useful as Fatal Push, though. Maybe like the Surgical Plan is just kind of cute. I don't know. It's so awkward to try to sideboard against this deck now. Just because you have to care about things that cost low mana. Yeah, I think we're supposed to take out the trackers. And then what are the other 6 cuts? Ugh. Maybe we like trim a push. Don't bring in the surgical. Trim another push. Trim a Thought Scour. Man, I really don't know what these last 2 cards should be. Maybe we're just like... Yeah, maybe we're just not supposed to have push in our deck. I'm like 100% not sure if I sideboarded correctly here. Yeah, I mean, we can try it. We have Astrolabe and Coatl to try to draw cards. And draw us into something to hopefully set up this Mystic Sanctuary eventually. Okay, that's a really good draw here. It means we don't have to play this swamp yet. Oof. Our opponent might have thought we were Urza, because that actually doesn't, like, stop much from us. Player, land, say go. Fetch up another snow-covered island, then we'll go ahead and just counter this Dryad. That's a good draw. I would like to use Mystic Sanctuary's ability. Go ahead and say go for another turn. what if you had to put that card on top of your library, opponent? Go ahead and put Aether Gust back on top. Say go. Opponent casts a nice Time Walk. Opponent's debating if we have another Ice-Fang Coatl. Chooses not to attack. I would like to draw 2 cards. Opponent has a stop set in our upkeep. Still waiting for the opponent. So yeah, we're really getting to see the power here of the Mystic Sanctuaries. We're just getting to churn through so much of our deck now. So basically every turn that they don't make us do something proactive, we just get to draw 2. Build up resources till we find our cryptics. The only thing I can think of that our opponent might have here is like Surgical that they're sitting on for so long. But I feel like you just respond to the Mystic Sanctuary if you're worried about that. Opponent could be firing up the stream too. If you did fire up the stream, feel free to give us a follow, opponent. It'd be highly appreciated. We draw a Thought Scour, which is pretty good here. Thought Scour combos really nicely with Aether Gust. Then the opponent's Summoner's Pact for an Uro. But opponent, what if I grab another Mystic Sanctuary to put Aether Gust on top? I then Thought Scour you and Aether Gust your Uro. That's a good one. Play this overgrown tomb tapped and attack our opponent. Opponent said sorry for sitting there for a minute. Told him that it's all good. Uro and Primeval Titan both being giants is actually really good. Did our opponent find another Uro? Looks like it. I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards here. Ooh, that feels bad. But our opponent does only have 1 card in hand now. Good thing about this matchup is we don't really have to worry about any reach from our opponent. We boarded out the tireless trackers, right? Yeah, so may as well play our lands. Cavern on Nymph, I assume here. Snake. Sakura Tribe Elder. Go ahead and mill them again. We did hit a Primeval Titan this time. And a Blast Zone, which is a pretty good hit. We'll then play our land and say go. We'll flash in another Ice-Fang Coatl. And go ahead and block. It's a good draw. It's another Mystic Sanctuary for us. We'll use our last mill we get off Ashiok here. So we unfortunately only hit 1 Primeval Titan. Go ahead and put an Archmage's Charm on top. Play this Watery Grave tapped. Attack for 2. Or not attack for 2, attack for 1. I would like to draw 2 cards. I would like to mill you. This just in chat, we are now a mill deck. fetch. Grab this watery grave tapped. Yeah, let's Thoughtseize them, actually. If they have a veil, we can counter it. Sure. We'll attack the opponent. Oh no. What will we do against Grazer? Alright, and we're going on to a game 3. So, our deck felt pretty good there. So do we really want any of these cards, I think is the question. I just don't know what it's better than. Like, I think we just kind of want to do what we did that game, where we just, like, Aether Gust and Archmage's Charm and Cryptic our opponent out. Just kind of hope they don't find their Cavern of Souls when they have something useful with it, and we don't have an Aether Gust. We do have Inquisition, which deals with Dryad. Yeah, I think I like how our deck is shaped. Because these are like our main win cons. Like, we win by locking our opponent out, essentially. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this again. It's a very good hand. Opponent leads on a Valakut. Thoughtseize the solid draw here. Not going to be our turn 1 play, but will be a good play for later on in the game. So I think we really want to Ice-Fang Coatl if possible. So I'm not going to go ahead and Thoughtseize. Because if they play something we really care about, we can always just Aether Gust it. Yeah, I think that's worth Aether Gusting and hoping we draw an untapped land. Go ahead and grab a Breeding Pool here. You can decide where you would like that arrow to go, opponent. They decide to put it on top. Come on, untapped land. That's not an untapped land. Alright, so we'll just Mystic Sanctuary go here. The plans of Aether Gusting our opponent again. Silly opponent. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play our Ashiok here. Go ahead and mill them. Alright, we hit a Titan. That's pretty good. There's a chance we just get Titaned here, but they'd have to have Garenbrig plus Titan in hand. Dryad. Valakut triggers on what? 5 other? So we might just want to trophy that here. We can start with the Thoughtseize. Pact, Titan, Beast Within. So... I think we take the Titan. Well, there's no way we actually care about this Dryad now, right? So... we take the Titan so they can't... well, casting the Titan doesn't actually matter. We have Trophy. So if we take the Beast Within, then we just, like, don't care about anything in their hand, right? It's just, like, 3 Primeval Titans. Then we go ahead and mill them. Because we can kill the Titan. Ice-Fang Coatl can eventually kill the Dryad. They don't get a Titan trigger. We have 3 islands, right? So I could just get a swamp here. Or no. Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what basic I wanted to fetch. Milieu. Play a land. Say go, and we just trophy the Titan. I'll have to check it out. That sounds like a deck that'd be a lot of fun to stream. But what if I told you no? Then we'll flash in an Ice-Fang Coatl. Go ahead and milieu some more, opponent. Ooh, we hit another Primeval Titan. What if I told you no, opponent? If they want to fire off a Summoner's Pact here, that's fine. We have plenty of answers in our hands. I just want to get this mill on so that way we can try to win the game here. Attack. I remember, oh, pay for it, sure. I remember LSV playing something very similar to that. It just, didn't have green in it. Blue, blue. Make another blue. Counter. Yep, you have a Sakura Tribe Elder opponent. Ooh, but what if we were the Euro deck? Milieu opponent. Go to combat, say go. Flashing Coatl. Block. End of turn, Thought Scour you. Thought Seize you. Ashiok you. Play land. Man, this deck is lit. Shout out to Brian Carey for showing me this deck. I think I was supposed to, like, put the Aether Gust back on top. I just didn't think about it until now. Yeah, alright, 2-0. Wow, we just kind of bodied Titan there. This deck might have some legs. This deck feels really good. Like, this, Uro might be what... Uro and Mystic Sanctuary might be what, like, Sultai needed to become a real deck. While we're waiting to find an opponent here, I just thought I'd remind everyone that if you'd like to support the content that you're seeing from me or any of our other wonderful streamers we have here on Mom's Basement Streams, make sure to hit that follow button for us. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can always hit that subscribe button or donate to our Patreon. We would super appreciate any of that. Every little bit helps make this content that much better for all of you. So we have another great hand here. Just like Astrolabe into interaction. Hopefully get to play an Uro. You know, the more I think about it, the more, like, this card just helps out your burn matchup so much. Opponent mulligans down to 6. We're going to go ahead and fetch off this Misty Rainforest. Grab a snow-covered island. And play an Astrolabe. We draw another push. Alright. So if they're a creature deck, we can double push next turn. We can always look to Ice-Fang Coatl with Death Touch or Trophy, depending on what we need to. Looks like we're against Burn, so this Uro's going to do some work. Opponent gets a Sacred Foundry and Goblin Guides. Give us a land, baby. Come on, Guide. Do me a solid. That's not a land, but I'll take an Ice-Fang Coatl. So we'll say go here. If our opponent plays an Eidolon, we'll just push the Guide, push Eidolon. But otherwise, we'll just plan on Baleful Strixing them. We might even just Baleful Strix if they play Eidolon. Draws us a land. And then since we drew a land, I'm actually going to get a Breeding Pool tapped and just push this Goblin Guide. Because it conserves our life total and also just helps our mana out. Swift Spear post-combat. Interesting. So we're gonna we want to play this Uro, but we're gonna take it a little slow here. We're gonna just Ice-Fang Coatl Fatal Push. We just want to make sure we don't take a lot of damage here. This might be like a Searing Blaze. And that's fine. Not much we could really do about that. But we do just get to go ahead and, like, push this Swift Spear again. So we're doing a good job at, like, holding up our opponent's creatures. Draw another Ice-Fang Coatl here. And, ooh, light up the stage. That's when you don't typically see him burn. They hit Boros Charm and land. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to play an Uro here, gain some life. Hopefully draw another land. Perfect. Not quite perfect. I don't really know that I want to shock. Yeah, I don't think shocking's actually worth it here. Maybe the 2 life is fine, but just the Boros Charm here, I assume. Yep. Down to 12. Is this another light up the stage? It is. Eidolon and Inspiring Vantage. And a Rift Bolt on Suspend. Well. You know what? I think we can go ahead and actually Thoughtseize here. If it misses, this kind of stinks. But yeah, so like, it saved us a life there, and we get to leave a card we actually want in our graveyard now. So we get to leave this Fatal Push in case we draw a land that lets us get a Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, and our opponent just scoops it up. Alright, so we're up a game against Burn that is also playing light up the stage. Surgical does not seem like where we want to be against Burn. Veil of Summer does nothing. I like Ice-Fang Coatl. I'm actually like... So, for the longest time, I was always against Thoughtseize against Burn. But then my friend Gavin explained it to me really well. It's essentially just like paying 1 mana to gain 1 to 2 life, which is actually something I think you're willing to do against Burn. I don't really think we want the trackers. I could see wanting the Dead of Winter and Plague Engineer to kill creatures. Ashiok doesn't seem very good. I think we can trim, at least trim a Cryptic. We might even take more out. It's possible like the rest of our cards... $40 in cards I'm missing for this deck. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm actually missing like a good chunk of this deck, and I'm still tempted to like pick it up. This deck is sweet. Maybe we do board out Thoughtseize. I think Thoughtseize might just be like our next weakest card. Although I'm really tempted to just like take out all of the Cryptic commands too. Yeah, I think if we're like at a point where we can Cryptic lock our opponent, we probably win the game. And we just want to be using Cryptic on like cheaper spells. It's possible this Dead of Winter isn't needed. Thoughtseize versus Burn is it is a 1 mana, gain 1 to 2 early on, but it's a dead draw on the later turns. That's fair. I didn't think about it being a dead draw like later on. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and try the deck like this. What do you think, chat? Our opponent kept their 7. I think this is a throwback. We like don't have any interaction before turn 3. Yeah, I was thinking this is a pretty easy mole. I see Uro and I really want to keep the hand, but this hand's kind of risky, but I think it's definitely a keep. What do we bottom here? I'm thinking we bottom like the Archmage's Charm here. It's like Archmage's Charm or Uro. That's true. We are far off from casting the charm. Inspiring Vantage pass. Is it wild for me to want to shock Inquisition here? Well, we're not going to fetch a... We're going to get the green for Coatl off Astrolabe. What do you... Oh, yeah, we can't cast Astrolabe then. Yeah, I think we just Astrolabe. It, like, our opponent, like, 100 times over has Eidolon here. But I think we just need to be able to cast our spells, sadly. Yeah. This is like the problem with Force Sanctuary. Like some games, it's like great when you don't draw them, but it's like super awkward when you do. I guess we get to Inquisition next turn, but like if they just slam an idol on here, I don't even know if Inquisition's that good. I guess it is. It's still Thoughtseize. Wait, what? What did our opponent keep if they're not just playing an Eidolon? They have to have light up the stage in hand now? Like this is shock light up the stage turn? Yeah. There's the Eidolon. I'm going to go ahead and Astrolabe here again because it puts us closer to hitting a land, hopefully. And this Inquisition doesn't do much because of their light up the stage. That seems like a mistake. I don't get why they played Goblin Guide instead of suspending their Rift Bolt there. Still not a land. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're pretty dead this game. Was hoping to draw a land. I mean, sure, Guide is more damage over 2 turns, but he can never cast this Rift Bolt. Like, this Rift Bolt's just gone forever because he chose to cast the Guide instead. Alright, here comes some lands. Is this a path? Boros Charm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And we're technically not dead. So, I think, yeah, we're just dead. It was kind of unfortunate that we just, like, never drew another land until after we played both Mystic Sanctuaries. But, so, like, the Guide isn't, because you can only play the Rift Bolt that turn, the Guide actually isn't more damage. Because you play the Rift Bolt that hits me for 3 the turn that you played the Guide, so it's essentially 1 less damage there. And because now you can never play the Rift Bolt again, you're just completely losing out on that 3 damage. To where if you Rift Bolt me, play Guide, that's on your next turn, that's just +1 damage. Like, if it was a Rift Bolt from hand, yes, playing the Guide first made more sense. But because it was a Rift Bolt off a light up the stage, that's why it was just, like, incorrect to do. Do we want to change anything going into game 3 here against Burn? I don't really think so. Like, I think our deck's fine. We just, like, need to not draw 2 tap lands. Which is, like, it is, like, the downside of Mystic Sanctuary. Is the fact that sometimes you just draw them as enter the battlefield tap islands. Which might be the reasoning why 4 might be a little steep. Maybe this deck only wants to play like 3. But its effect is super powerful, so maybe 4 is worth it. I think we're going to just go ahead and resubmit. Hopefully not have as clunky of a draw. Yeah. Sand seems good. We have a push if we need it. We have Thought Scour. We have set up for Uro. Trophy's not the best in this matchup, but it is a removal spell if we need it. Turn 1 Goblin Guide. Give me a land. That's not a land. I don't super want to draw that either. We're gonna like offset our Mystic Sanctuaries by like a turn, but I think it's fine to like not take 2 damage here. Ooh, Inquisition was a really good draw here. Inquisition our opponent. Rip, Path, Bolt, Light Up, Lava Spike. Huh. So, what does our opponent's hand do? Our opponent's hand doesn't really do anything, right? Like, I kind of just want to take a light up the stage here. Because they're away from Rip. Path doesn't really matter with Rip. So, like, these are basically the same thing on the Uro. I guess we really can't win the game through a Rest in Peace. But we have Trophy if we ever need to kill it. Maybe we just, like, take a Rip. What do you think here, chat? What do we take here? I think it's, like, Rest in Peace, Lightning Bolt, or Light Up the Stage. And I think it's, like, Rest in Peace or Light Up the Stage, realistically. We're gonna Thought Scour ourselves. Trying to find a land. I think it might be the Rip. The Rip is just like the most annoying card for us. The rest of it is just like him having to find a land and then Dirtle. Yeah, I mean, Rip makes our Uro sad, but like, so does the Path. The Path is like basically the same thing as the Rest in Peace there for our Uro. But like, the Rest in Peace also shuts off like future Uros that we draw. Did he just draw the land? No. Interesting. So we'll grab a snow-covered island here and then Thought Scour ourselves. Mill over a land and an Astrolabe. Perfect. So we still need a green source. Maybe I was supposed to fetch Shock there, actually. So you can trophy the Rip, and they don't have Path for your eventual Uro. That's actually a pretty good line. They did find the extra land. So we know these 2 cards in their hand. They put the light up on the bottom. So we really need to draw a green source here so we can play Uro, hopefully. I think fetching that snow-covered island was actually a pretty big mistake by me. I think we were supposed to just get a breeding pool. Yeah, like now we just like don't get to do anything for the turn. Yeah, I think my fetch might cost us here. I didn't think about us, like, not being able to cast our spells. I think the play was, like, fetch a tapped breeding pool, hope to draw a land, if not, thought scour ourselves. So our opponent gets to light up the stage here. Hit Goblin Guide, Boros Charm while they had the extra land too. That's really unfortunate. Alright, come on. Please draw me a land deck. Please. Please. That's not a land deck. We'll push this Goblin Guide. Hopefully thought scour ourselves into a land. Overgrown Tomb. So your black source helps escape Uro. Yeah, I could see that. I think I was too scared of, like, my life total. I was just, like, trying to play way too safe around, like, not causing myself a lot of damage. To where I think I was like, I was supposed to shock 1 of 2 times. Like, I just should have a green source and we'd be in a lot better spot here. But I didn't. Yeah, like, we haven't really got, yeah, like, I guess this does kill Swift Spear. Like, we'd be at 5 here, but we would have, like, actually gotten to play spells for, like, half this game. So, like, I could see Overgrown Tomb over Snow-Covered Island, or over Snow-Covered Swamp, actually. Yikes. If we ever draw a land here, though, we're, like, in this game. Alright. Go, Inspector Uro. Oh, did they draw a Skullcrack? That'd be unfortunate. Yeah, they did. Oof. Oh, Searing Blaze. Sure. Alright, so hopefully we draw a green source for next turn. Send another light up the stage? No. I think we just, like, have to play this tapped and say go. Sure. I mean, if our opponent has this spell, like, we die, but... Go Inspector Uro. Alright. Alright, we're just trying to find a green source here and we're back in this game. Or not back in this game. I think we win this game if we find a green source. How about no? I assume they put that on bottom. Yep. Scoos is a good draw, but I think I want a Coatl to try to hit a land more. Hey, we did it. Alright, so next turn we get to Uro. Please don't have drawn a Boros Charm. Hey, wow. Alright, so we're 3-0. I kind of played that game a little badly, I won't lie. Kind of had some missequencing in my fetching that could have potentially cost us the game, but we ended up, actually, I think, I don't know. It's like really hard to look back on if like fetching. I definitely agree in the moment it was pretty bad, but it ended up just like buying us a lot of time because there was points where we were at 2 life. So I don't know. That's one of those games where like it's really hard to like look at the perspective. Like we won, so it feels correct, but at the same time, like passing all that time felt incorrect. I don't know. The burn matchup with decks like this is always really tricky. You always have to play it very carefully. Found ourselves an opponent. Let's get it. GLHF. And I would like to be on the play. Yeah. We have turn 1 Thoughtseize. We have tracker mana. We have trophy. I said GLHF and my opponent said thanks, I'll need it. I feel bad. So we'll grab a Watery Grave here. And do our best Death Shadow impersonation. Speaking of Death Shadow. So the push is an answer for our tracker depending on how they sequence lands. The stub doesn't really matter, the baubles don't matter, so it's like push or shadow. And I think we just take the shadow here. And say go. It's pretty likely they used this Tarn before, so. They drew their own Thoughtseize. So they get their choice to what they take here. They take our tracker. Then they'll draw a card off Bauble. Scoo's a solid draw. Scoo's is kind of awkward with their push in hand, but we'll just play this Misty and pass for now. So they decide they like it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and thought scour them here. We got a little faked out there, it seems. And I think we just grab ourselves another breeding pool here. And then we'll thought scour ourselves this time. It's a pretty solid draw here. So we take the Gurmag, even with push, thought scour, stubborn denial. I think shocking for Coatl is fine here. So they shock here. We'll flash in Coatl. That is like one of the awkward things about when we fetch that breeding pool. But like a professional, we drew the best card here. So we have Mystic Sanctuary online already. But I think we still get an island here. Thought Scour's a solid draw. We don't want to just like play the Scoos here. We want to try to get as many cards as possible, so depending on if we draw land or not, we may or may not play Scoos. So I'm actually going to play Scoos now because they only have one Fatal Push left in their hand. And we'll go ahead and eat the Snapcaster. So now their only removal spell in hand, or the only card we know about in hand is Stubborn Denial. Pass back to us. We'll play another Astrolabe. We draw our own Fatal Push, which is pretty good here. And we'll pass the turn. We'll just go ahead and Fatal Push this. Don't really feel like getting pressured. What you got, opponent? Probably like a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition. A Gurmag Angler. Go ahead and Thought Scour ourselves here. Another trophy's a solid draw. So we're going to do this while our opponent can only have one Stubborn Denial open. And we'll trophy again. So our opponent is probably running out of threats here. No. So that's one fish, one shadow, two fish, one shadow, and two snapcasters, plus their royal scions. Opponent baubles us to see what we're drawing. That's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and put this cryptic command on top. And then say go. Notably, if our opponent does have Death Shadow, they're not in range yet. Now they are, but they're not in Stubborn Denial range. End of turn, I would like to attempt to Fatal Push that. I'll then draw this Cryptic. Wait on our opponent a little bit. And then say go. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith down to 8. We will then counter and return our Mystic Sanctuary. Mystic Sanctuary. Put Cryptic Command back on top. And say go. Yep, you can Thoughtseize me, opponent. You know what we're drawing. Play this Watery Grave tapped, say go. Now we just have to find a win con. Go ahead and Thought Scour ourselves, trying to find an Uro. No Uro, sadly. Play our land and say go. Opponent passes, we're gonna draw. is in fact a win condition. We'll eat our opponent's Teamer Battle Rage. And that's it. Might have actually been a mistake there. Because now they can stick a threat with Stubborn Denial. Yeah, I might have actually just misplayed there. If we get Stubborn Denialed here, I like definitely deserve to lose this game. Yeah. I punted so hard. Hopefully they don't have a way to grow their Death Shadow. Man. Yeah, I'm dead on board. I'm such an idiot. Literally all I needed to do was just not do that, and I don't think we can lose that game. Feels bad, man. Ashiok is like medium here. Aether Gust doesn't do anything. Surgical's not very good. Typically I don't like... I can never decide how much I like discard spells against Death Shadow. Like, I know I don't like discard spells against, like, Jund. But I think they're decent here because of how cheap their threats are. What do you think, chat? I like Plague Engineer because of Death Touch. I think Ashioks are probably too cute. Man, feels bad, man. We totally should have won that game. I think Thoughtseize is actually pretty good against them because of Gurmag Angler. I think Kalitas is a little cute. They don't have enough threats. I could see trimming a Cryptic because of Stubborn Denial. I don't actually hate that. What's really medium here, Aaron? Are you talking about the Ashioks? Yeah, I agree. I think Scooz is actually pretty bad here. And we have like 3 more cuts. Yeah, but I think we want the Cryptic Lock. Maybe we just like don't bring in these Inquisitions. Not 100% sure about how I sideboarded there. It was kind of like a panic thing to keep in 1 Inquisition and trim a Thought Scour. But I think it's fine. Like, we don't want to rely on hands that need cantrips. Sand seems good. IOK and Cryptic are my votes. I could see, like, just wanting that 4th Thought Scour over that one of Inquisition. Go ahead and grab a snow-covered island. Play an Astrolabe. I do think we're probably favored in this matchup. Like, I think we win that game 1 if I don't play like a monkey. Upkeep. We draw Veil of Summer, which is a solid draw. So, we'll just shock this Overgrown Tomb and pass. Snapcaster. Are we running 61? I don't think so, are we? Oh my god, we are. I don't know how I messed that up. That's funny. I could have sworn I only had 2 more cuts, but I guess I had an extra one. So yeah, we just take out the last Inquisition, I guess. That's pretty good, opponent. Just Ice-Fang Coatl, try to find lands here. Yeah, I don't know how I did that. That's funny. I was just like trying to hurry up when sideboarding. Snapcaster is a human wizard, I believe, right? Yeah, human wizard. We'll name wizard because it's more fun. Then we'll say go. Hopefully they don't just have like double push here. Yeah, I think we're getting double pushed. Oh, this might be a K. Oh, it's just Royal Scions. Which is really good for them here. Yeah, I mean, we'll take 7. Draw a Watery Grave. So let's Thought Scour us. Shock. Burrow. Put Mystic Sanctuary in, putting Thought Scour on top. So that way we can set up getting back our Uro. This alt's at 8. I mean, I guess if we're not blocking, we should be attacking, right? So 7 is 14. Yeah. Even if we block, we die to Temur Battle Rage. Do they have it? They do. I guess like TBR is actually a reason to Thoughtseize there. Haha. Gotcha. Oh. That's rude, opponent. Thought scour us. Green, blue, blue, whatever. Make it into green. Get back in Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are relevant spells in the yard. This land into play. Say go. So now we have decent blocks on everything at least. Had decent blocks on everything. I think we're just dead now. Eight. Guess we're not dead. Now we need an answer to Death Shadow. Come on, deck, please. Sick Thoughtseize draws. Come on. Yeah, we're dead. Unfortunate. Yeah. Rough. We should have had a game 3 there, but I played like a monkey, so we lost. Magic's hard, I'm bad, you know, yada yada yada. Hopefully we can 4-1 in this last game. Try to make a little extra off our league. Man, I really wonder how I accidentally submitted 61 cards. Because I could have sworn it said we were at 62. And then I took out the 2 Inquisitions, which should have put us to 60. Maybe it... No, it definitely registered me taking out the Thought Scour, right? Like, it's shown... It's shown a Thought Scour in my sideboard. Hit our opponent with the GLHF. Oh, did you think I was supposed to take out all the discard, Aaron? Oh, you just said okay. I didn't know what you meant when you said their medium. I thought you were talking about Ashiok. I misunderstood. Yeah, I'm not like huge into discard. It's just like against GDS in specific, it's like kind of awkward just because of the card Gurmag Angler. We're against House of Mana MTG in our last round here. Opponent mulligans down to 4. Yikes. Maybe they're playing like Tron. Our opponent does keep their 4. So we'll go ahead and play an Astrolabe here. Trophy's a good draw if they are Tron. We shall see. They're a Titan deck. So game 1 probably rough for us. Post sideboard gets a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and shock here, because if I can save this Flooded Strand for Mystic Sanctuary, I would like to. Yep, definitely some type of amulet deck. Crumbling Vistage. Filter into a green to flash and a Coatl here. Is it possible we just want to trophy this bounce land? So that way they can't play a Dryad? What do you think about that, Aaron? Trophy bounce land, then we can put trophy on top with Mystic Sanctuary. I don't think it's Green Eldrazi. I think it's Titan. It's definitely Titan. Like, I'm 100% that this is Amulet Titan. I think we trophy the bounce land, that way they can't play the Dryad, right? It, like, sets them back a mana. Yeah, I agree. I just wanted your opinion. Yeah, they probably just replaced their Once Upon a Times with Ancient Stirrings, if I had to guess. Oh yeah, I guess it does put them 2 turns behind. Notably, we can't actually trophy with Coatl this turn. But I do think playing another Coatl is better than playing the Scavenging Ooze, so. Oh, gotcha. I thought that was like sent when we were like talking about things. I could see this being played in Eldrazi, actually. Now that you mention it. Grab a Mystic Sanctuary. Put Trophy on top. Waiting on the opponent. Attack. These pushes are like pretty bad in our hand, but you think we play the Scoos there? I could have seen it. My thought was I wanted to be able to hold up. EE for 2. That's rude. Do we trophy this explosives with the trigger on the stack? I like really hate ramping our opponent, but I don't know that we want to lose these Ice-Fang Coatls. And we can always pick the trophy back up with another Sanctuary. We do give our opponent Titan mana, though, if we do that. Maybe we don't care about the EE that much. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Play Swamp for turn. Play Scoos. They go. Do we trophy the Garen Brig? That way they have to wait another turn to Titan? Because if not, they could potentially Titan us this turn. Or do we just like try to trophy the Titan? Do nothing. I'll believe it. It's like really close, I think, though. Why would we... We can't push a Primeval Titan, though. They're on Karn again. Spicy. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely kill a Titan. We just can't kill it with Fatal Push, sadly. They get a Worm Coil. So we fetch a Burning Pool and eat our Coatl. Cryptic's a really good draw here. We kill the Karn. Say go. And now we can counter Worm Coil, bounce Mystic Sanctuary. And still have Trophy up. Plus that's just more food for our Skoos. That's fine. Transmuta Talaria West. We don't have Revolt right now. I think our opponent might be stream sniping us. Counter the worm, bounce sanctuary. What do we do now? We can bounce this. Ugh. I think we just have to like take a draw step. That's a good line. They do get to have an uncounterable Worm Coil engine now, though. God, we've drawn all 4 Fatal Pushes in like the matchup we don't want them. Put Cryptic on top. Eat Dryad. Oh wait, we thought seize the worm. Never mind. I'm dumb. I should be getting in an extra point of damage here, but I like just now realized we had a Thoughtseize in hand. I mean, we have to take the Summoner's Pack now, right? Because we can trophy the worm and deal with it with Fatal Pushes. They don't have enough mana for both unless they... So end of turn, we filter into a green and trophy. Yeah, I just like totally overlooked the Thoughtseize, I'll be honest. And we draw the Cryptic. We push a worm. We push a worm. We hold up Cryptic because Cavern's on worm. Hit for 5. Then we have lethal for next turn. That's pretty good for them. Oh, we just counter Druid, bounce token. If they play another token, we push it and then eat Worm Coil for lethal. So we managed to actually win this game, surprisingly. It did not look good for a minute. Counterbounce. Alright, and we're up a game. So sideboarding against Amulet. Kalitas doesn't seem very good. Neither does Dead of Winter or... I don't think these cards are good anyways. I know we don't want trackers. God, I gotta remember. I wish I remembered how we sideboarded. I need to remember things. Yeah, tap their team and draw. I think we had it anyway. You looked at it there. Tap your team and draw is probably the safer play. I think these cards seem medium. I believe we boarded out Tracker because we don't want to grind against them. I think we trimmed some Fatal Push, or no. We took out all the Fatal Pushes. We took out the Surgical, and then I think we trimmed a Thought Scour. No, we left in the Thought Scour and took out the Abrupt Decay. I believe this was how we sideboarded. Yeah, I think this was it. You think we want Surgical Veil and 2 push? You think we want those cards, Aaron, or we don't? And if, like, we do, what do we cut? I think the Dead of Winter might be better than the Engineer too, because it just cleans up a bunch of zombies. But I think like our big plan to win this match was just like counter their spell, discard their card, counter their spell, stick an Ashiok. Clearly hits their 3. Decay hits their 3 drops. Decay hits their 3 drops, but so does Fatal Push. Like, I could maybe see keeping in the Decay over one of the Thought Scours, but... Okay, yeah. I could see that for game. I could see that. I could see wanting, Okay, that's what I assumed you were talking about. This hand is not keepable because we can't cast a spell. This hand, I think, is better than going down to 6. Or going down to 5. Put a Sanctuary back in our deck. Yeah, though I could see wanting Decay over Thought Scour number 5. Or Thought Scour number 4. If it's Thought Scour number 5, we have bigger issues. I can just go grab a Water Grave and Thoughtseize here. Uro, Dryad, Titan with no... Oh, they have a Rot Farm. Okay. I think the Uro is going to be more annoying, but Thoughtseizing an Uro doesn't actually do a whole lot. It's like the Uro or the Dryad here we take. I think the answer is Uro, because Uro draws them a card. And they already have the land to put into play. We have the counter spell for the Titan. Yeah. I think we're going to go ahead and take the Uro here. As bad as it feels to ever Thoughtseize an Uro. The Rot Farm's gone, but they have the Garrison in hand. Shock and say go. Just plan to Ice-Fang Coatl. Yep. Yeah, we get bogged here. Ooh, Ashiok's a good draw here. Gets rid of that Uro. And then we'll say go. We hit a Primeval Titan and a Beast Within and a Karn also. Go ahead and block here. Cavern, I assume naming Giant so they can play their prime time here. So we'll now Aether Gust your Primeval Titan. Mill you for 4. So our opponent's down 2 Titans, an Uro, and a Karn. They play another Dryad. Ashiok does go down here. Play an island, say go. We do need to draw some answers to these Dryads. Yep, you have an amulet, opponent. So now they have Bounce Land in hand, or Vesuva in hand. So we will Aether Gust that. I assume they'll bounce the Bajuka Bog here. Ah, they tapped it for red. Got it. I would like to draw 2 cards. Those are pretty good draws. Play our land, say go. We need to draw like another Ashiok, and then we'll be in a good spot again. So we'll fetch here. Grab another Mystic Sanctuary. Put Cryptic Command back on top of our deck. Aether Gust the Primeval Titan. We'll Mystic Sanctuary to put Aether Gust on top. Say go. Return Sanctuary, bounce, tap your team. If our opponent plays this right, we're actually dead. I was supposed to draw a card there. Yeah, I screwed up. I tried doing the same loop with one Sanctuary that I did with two, and that loop just doesn't work there. I, like, for some reason thought the Aether Gust was already in my hand. So I was supposed to tap their team, draw a card, Aether Gust the Titan, and then hope to draw something good. I think it was like a pretty far stretch that we were going to win that game, though. I like the idea of trimming a Thought Scour for the Abrupt Decay. I think the rest of our cards are fine. Maybe on the draw... No, I think Inquisition is just better than Fatal Push. Even though I hate, like, not having permanent answers to Dryads. I guess we do. We have, like, Decay, Trophies, Ice-Fang, Coatls. Yeah, let's try this. I would like to be on the play. And this hand is great. Get to lead Watery Grave, Thoughtseize. Then we have Guster, Ice-Fang, Coatl. Plus Trophy in hand. Opponent mulligan down to 6. Will they keep or mulligan down again? That is the question. They keep. So we will lead on Watery Grave and Thoughtseize. Karn, Dryad, and 4 lands. We'll just go ahead and take the Dryad here. Not super worried about Karn. Say go. If our opponent plays a bounce land, we get to just trophy it. Field of the Dead from them. Just shocking a breeding pool. Play an Ice-Fang, Coatl. That's awkward. Kind of unfortunate that we took the Karn the first time and then drew an Inquisition. Yeah. Feels kind of bad. Go ahead and attack with Coatl. Question is, do they play the bounce land here to try to get green mana? If they do, we get to trophy it. Nope. Which is fine, we can just set up the trophy Karn. Oh shoot. I accidentally clicked one too many times, dang it. We should have an extra Coatl in play and we should be a card deeper. That was my bad, that was a misclick. Alright, let's not mess it up this time. Now I think we want to hold up an extra. But notably, we should have been able to play that Coatl this turn. Breeding pool from the opponent. Interesting, they still don't play out the Karn. Ashiok is a solid draw here. Attack our opponent for 3. There's still a turn off from Field of the Dead, so don't have to worry about trophying that yet. Cavern name's Giant. So here comes the Primeval Titan, I assume. Gonna feel really good to Aether Gust with this Ashiok in play. Fetch out a Mystic Sanctuary, put the Aether Gust on top. Mill away that Primeval Titan. Get in there with the squad. I think we don't actually care about this Field of the Dead, do we? I think we might actually care about the Field of the Dead more than we care about the Karn. I do think we were supposed to do that, like, on their turn. That's kind of a bad sequence by me. They grab a ballista. Bounce their cavern. That's a good draw. So we go to combat. We kill the Karn. We're losing Ashiok, so we may as well, hold on. Yeah. So we may as well mill them. And then I kind of want to sanctuary this Archmage's Charm. So we say go. Do they name Construct, though? Yep. So here comes the big ballista. We're gonna attempt to put the Archmage's Charm back on top. Then we're not gonna swing. Actually. Yeah, we'll swing because we're running the race currently. Did themselves a Summoner's Pact here. We are slightly ahead on clock, but not by much. They grab an Uro. I'm doing this because I know I'm drawing a counter spell. Opponent pays for their Summoner's Pact. Counter Uro, return Mystic Sanctuary. So we're gonna draw 2 here and then Cryptic, bounce Mystic Sanctuary, counter Uro. Oof. Alright, you have an Uro. Fetch up another Mystic Sanctuary to put Cryptic on top. I think Cryptic might have actually been the wrong choice there. Maybe I was supposed to go for Trophy. The Karn package seems really good against us. Go ahead and Thought Scour ourselves. Thought sees you. Take your ballista. Player land, say go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we lost this one, but it was a good game. Ancient Stirrings. Finds a Karn. They get back minus Karn, get a Walking Ballista. Sure, dude. Alright, so we 3-2'd. We probably should have beaten Death Shadow and been 4-0, but I kind of misplayed, which happens. I think this deck has the tools to beat Titan. I think if I play it more, figure out maybe how I'm supposed to sideboard exactly, and maybe figure out something for the Karn package, I think this deck's in a really good spot. It's really fun to play too. I love like Mystic Sanctuary crypticing people. It's a lot of fun. Other than that, no, not much else to say about the deck. Hope you enjoyed the league. Before we hop off, as per usual, want to hop back over to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com. Tell you guys to check us out for any of the information you might want to be able to find us at. If you're watching on YouTube, check down in that description box below where you can find all the links that I'm going to be talking about. But also try to tune in live to our Twitch sometimes and interact with us, much like Almost Omniscient, Sir Bear, and Krekar were doing today, as well as Siggy Stardust. So, on top of that, if you're looking for forms of social media to find us on, you can give us a like on Facebook at Mom's Basement Games. You can give us a follow on Twitter at Mom's Basement MTG. And after I'm done here in a second, you can hop on back over to our YouTube channel where you can find the best Standard, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, Pauper, Pioneer, Draft, and Vintage Cube content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's at RichardTMTG. I talk Magic, memes, League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra. Anything else you want to talk about, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm always willing to chat. On top of that, if you're looking for another form of social media to find us on, you can find us on Instagram at Mom's Basement Games, or you can find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. And with that, I think I'm going to bid you all adieu and hope you all have a wonderful night.